Hello everyone, welcome to Alkaline Hydroxide 784, and today we are going to be starting off our GP overview series, episode 1, with artificial intelligence. So that's the topic. It is under the grand topic of science. And of course, science covers a lot of things, but one of those things is artificial intelligence. Right, so I'm just gonna go through a few issues regarding the impact of artificial intelligence on real life, and also explain a bit about it, hopefully, but not like in great detail because I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes long. Hopefully it isn't. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into it, and if you like the format that I use, then I'll continue with it, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so first off, we need to know what AI is because before you talk about it, we need to understand it. So, according to the encyclopedia, artificial intelligence is the ability of a digital computer, a computer controlled robot, to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. At least they're trying to be like not be too specious, and they said intelligent beings instead of human beings. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but that's the point. So the idea is they have a software or something that can do stuff that human beings can also do, or other intelligent beings can do, like maybe animals, because we do have that cute little seal thing that you can pet. Yeah, that's the thing. Please do search it up. Okay, so the main thing that you need to know about AI is not how to do it, but like how it, in general way of like two different kinds of AI, like what are two different kinds and how they work. So the first one is symbolic AI, and it's kind of like it's a bit like just coding kind of thing. You just code the program and you just give a set of rules for the AI to follow, and it's very clear cut kind of rules. So it's very mathematical kind of problems in nature. So yeah, that's what it's used for. It's used for problems that can be defined very easily using mathematical equations or using very clearly defined logic. And the other kind of AI is connectionist AI, which is what is becoming more popular nowadays. And what we would be more familiar with is the term neural networks. And that is what I feel would be better off explaining, like being explained in this scenario, and what the two different kinds of AIs could be used for. Okay, so connectionist AI, or if you want to just say neural networks because I prefer that. So the idea of neural networks and deep learning in general is basically the neural network is supposed to mimic our brain, or at least the neurons in our brain, because they are connected and they pass signals between each other, and that kind of dictates what we do, right? Yeah, what the brain does. And the neural network is supposed to learn how to do something from scratch, kind of like that kind of something like a little kid would do, rather than have the rules already handed out to them. So what this means is, in terms of the difference between a symbolic AI and a neural network, is that in a symbolic AI, maybe let's say the rule is if it is 50% red, it is good. Like that rule will already be in the system. But for a neural network, what you do is you give a bunch of pictures that have varying degrees of red color and maybe some other colors as well, and then you let it to decide what is what on its own. And of course, not really entirely on its own. You first have to supplement it with some data that has the answer to it. So you don't give them the rule, the way to solve the question, but you just give them the answer. Which means that the neural network has to figure out how to get to the answer. Yeah, that's the difference between the symbolic AI and the neural network. So in that sense, you would be feeding it a bunch of pictures that are different degrees of red, and of course the human being would know which one is 50% red and stuff like that, and they can they can pre-write that answer down. Okay, this is yes, this is no. But it doesn't know what the question is or what it's supposed to be searching for to get yes or no. And that is what it will learn by testing it with the test data, and that will eventually allow it to figure it out on its own. Maybe it's possible, but it usually isn't 100%. Oh, if it's 50% red, it'll be yes. It could be using other criteria as well. It could be looking at maybe it's 20% blue, then it's yes. It's possible. It depends on the test data itself. So we'll look at why this matters later on, because yeah, it kind of does matter. If you want to know more about how the neural network works, how come I can't pronounce it properly? I sound so weird saying it. Okay, never mind. If you want to know more how it works, you can actually watch Crash Course AI. Yeah, the link is somewhere there in the description or in the website that I've linked. Okay, cool. I don't want to talk about it for too long, because that'll be better off for you to learn about on your own. Okay. And anyway, it's not really the main point here. Yes, we're looking at the GP issues, not really how an AI works. So we're going to look at three main issues today. And the first issue will be about jobs. Second issue will be about and maybe like morality, ethics, and the third issue will be about crimes. So for the first one, which is in terms of jobs, we're going to look at the good stuff first. Yeah, I have like a table to put my information, and I literally just type good stuff instead of like saying it as benefits or something, because I feel like it may not be a full benefit, but more like just good stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So AI can help with doing jobs that humans might not want to take, because they find it either too menial, or it requires a lot of expertise, or it's quite dangerous or something like that. So there's one example, but the problem is I read it in the newspaper a while ago and I cannot find the article online. It's somewhere in Straits Times. So basically, in this example, there's this expert who examines specimens under a microscope, and I'm not sure what they do with the specimens. I kind of forgot. And he has a very, very specific job, and this job requires a lot of expertise. You need a lot of training to do this. And obviously he couldn't find an actual successor, because no one really wanted to spend their entire time just looking at many specimens under a microscope. It actually takes quite some time and a lot of effort and expertise. So it's quite hard for him to get an actual successor. And the expert is already quite old. He needs to retire. But he gets respite from an AI. So a team managed to get an AI which will help him do his job, and they gave it testing data. So this is actually a neural network, not really a symbolic AI, because in terms of this job, you cannot really just give it a bunch of rules and it will find it on its own. Because there could be many factors that affect what the AI determines in the specimen. The thing is, I kind of forgot the details, so if I do find the link, I'll paste it. But for now, just I'm sorry. But anyway, it's much faster, and it saves a lot of time and effort, and it also prevents the expert from having to stare at the thing for a very long time, and he can finally retire. Yeah. Okay. Right. So the next thing is that AI can also solve complex maths problems much more quickly than humans, and this kind of helps in research. So if you have like simulations, in many kinds of research, you may be thinking that research is entirely like the experiment doing is only like real, actual in the world kind of experiments. But it's possible to do an experiment in a computer, even though it's not something that has anything to do with a computer. So what I mean by this is simulations. So simulations can involve AI, and then usually they put rules in it. So this more of a symbolic AI, I believe, but it could also involve like some amount of deep learning or neural networks in a sense. So I'm pretty sure simulations are used mostly in astronomy. Basically, they're used in astronomy and used in bio stuff as well. I mean, it is used in bio stuff. So for astronomy, I think the reason is pretty obvious because space is really huge. So yeah, you can really go there and do stuff. Sometimes there are some things that are really far away, and they use maybe simulations to see what the space was like many years ago or many years into the future, who knows. So yeah, that's what they do in in terms of the space research. But in terms of bio research, because I did see this, I mean, I heard about this in my class. So there's this new thing called xenobots. I mean, it's not that new anymore, I guess, because it was in January, but it's still kind of new. It was this year. So some scientists managed to find, like, make some xenobots. And xenobots aren't robots, they're actually made of living cells from a frog, and they can move around. So yeah, it's just like a piece of tissue that can move around and carry stuff into the body, I guess. And the reason and the thing is, they didn't do experiments solely on the actual thing that they created, but they did some simulations of the actual xenobots, and they tried to see if those simulations could in theory carry stuff around, and of course they could. So if you want to know more information, you can look at the link below. Actually, for most of the things, there'll be probably links below that you can check in about the same order as I say them here. So I hope I don't have to say this another bunch of times. Of course, there are limitations to this. We sometimes still need humans. Um, in bio, the other thing that can be done is, okay, maybe this is more pharma. You would need to know when you are making a new, like, medicine or something. You need to know that whether that chemical can actually go to a particular target in the human body. Like in the cell, there'll be proteins of a certain shape, and in order to for the that molecule to actually attach the protein, it needs to be about the same shape in a way. Yeah, the complementarity of shape. And yeah, usually they use a AI to do some stuff, or a computer program to do it, but there is quite a bit of limitation to it, because it still may not give you the best possible shape of the chemical or molecule. And that's why there is this game called Fold It. I'm pretty sure you would have heard it before, and it's this game that involves the expertise of human brains to actually make it even better. So basically, players play the game and Fold It, and it helps actual researchers find a molecule that fits the best with their target protein. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Actually, the Fold It involves folding the protein itself, so yeah, I guess it's something to do with that. But you get the idea. And it just shows that AI isn't enough for this kind of a thing. So you do require some human thinking in a sense. And of course, even if we weren't looking at a very specific example, we can definitely argue that humans are definitely pretty complex thinkers in a way. There's a lot of things that humans can do that AIs cannot do, that AI programs cannot do. And there's a video on that, so you can look at it. It's the one on Muramek's paradox on why AI is quite good at stuff like maths, but not very good at some very simple human tasks, like maybe picking up blocks or something. Yeah. Oh no, it's already 14 minutes. Oh well. Never mind. Okay, so the next part of the same issue is the bad stuff. So will it steal jobs? It's possible. It could be made, like, AI is pretty useful for many things, but my opinion is that it may not really steal a lot of jobs. For example, if we see that AI can be made to screen and diagnose cancers very quickly and very efficiently, but that doesn't mean the doctor is going to lose their job, because they still have to give treatment and they need to do a double confirmation on whatever the AI said, just in case sometimes. And in a way, in general, if we are looking at robots in general, not just AI, there have been robots doing jobs that were too dangerous or too mundane for humans. And this has been going on forever, like ever since they started doing it. Like as more and more technology, comes up, you'll be using it to substitute for some job. And at the same time, humans will also find new industries and try to work either with the AI or robot or to just do a different job altogether. So it happens and we can't really avoid it, but at the same time, it won't happen so fast that everyone will not have a job suddenly. Yeah. I mean, you could see the thing that's more likely to affect jobs is a situation like the one that you're going through currently, like, viral pandemic that affects jobs more quickly than an AI could. So, yeah, I can see that pretty clearly. You can look at some articles on it. I didn't really read through, but you can look at the articles. I think, yeah, like the main point of article was the Forbes one, especially. It says that AI is more likely to enable the job rather than steal the job. So it enables the person doing the job to do a better job rather than just steal the job altogether. Okay, so we'll move on to the next issue, which is self-morality. Okay, maybe this video will be 30 minutes. Oh well, I'm sorry. Okay, so the second issue is self-morality. And this is based on two different scenarios that I'm going to look at. Instead of saying good stuff and bad stuff, I'm just going to look at two different scenarios. And this is regarding the AI system itself. So it's about ethics or morality in a sense. So the first one is self-driving cars. This is actually pretty interesting because there's one video that I saw, and I mean, it's a lot of the videos are actually from the same channel. But yeah, actually I like the videos from that channel, so yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so a self-driving car is very interesting because it has to avoid obstacles, it needs to self-drive. But there's another aspect to self-driving cars. Let's say if there's an accident or an obstruction in the way and the car doesn't have a lot of time to like stop or something, it needs to move to one side. Basically, there is a chance that it could hit someone, and it knows that there's people on like in the way that is not like it could either hit the obstruction and affect the people in the car, or it could veer off course and hit someone else that is on the road. So that's the basic scenario. And depending on who those people are, like whether they're old or young or athletic or not, or what kind of job they have, occupation they have, who does it choose to hit basically, who does it choose to injure or possibly even fatally injure someone. And it has to make a decision, but it's not a human being, so it's an AI, and it will just choose whatever it's programmed to do. And yeah, if you want to know more on what it would actually do, you can watch the video. But the short answer is basically they gather the opinion of many people and then use that to like that's what is suggested, like to get the opinion of a lot of people and then use that to direct the self-driving car. But yeah, this brings us the question of whether that is truly the best way to do it, or is there even a best way to do it to begin with. Well, no one truly agrees, I suppose. But you can think about it. It's some philosophical thing to think about, I guess. Pretty philosophical. I'm sorry. Okay, so the second thing, which I think is easier to talk about, which is discrimination. Yeah, this is pretty much an issue when it comes to neural networks because you're giving it a certain data to train with. So let's say if you had a bunch of images of cats and you wanted to see whether the neural network can spot a dog or some, not really a dog, but maybe like a specific trait of a dog, but you only gave it images of cats. Obviously, it would not work the same way if you gave it an image of a dog after you finish training it. So that's not really, like, that doesn't make sense, right, in a sense. Okay, I guess whatever I just said doesn't make a lot of sense. So maybe like you try to see what maybe the trait of an energetic pet or something, like the the pet is very energetic, and you always give it pictures of cats, but it hasn't seen a picture of a dog. So when you give it a picture of a dog, even if the dog happens to be very energetic, it's very likely that the neural network may say it's not energetic. So that's the idea of discrimination in terms of a neural network. So in real life scenarios where this comes to play is a very good example is genetic testing. You know, all those companies who are saying like, oh, ask you to pay like $100, and then you can send your DNA, and then they'll tell you where you come from, where your ancestry is from. Yeah, those companies. But the thing is, they're not entirely accurate, precisely because usually for Asians or for certain minorities, it's very likely that they don't have enough data related to the same minority or the same region, in the sense, same country, and this leads to somewhat inaccurate results. So yeah, it's pretty much a mess. If you search it, you'll definitely get videos or articles on this, and the idea is that if you're a minority, you're more likely to not get the actual location of your ancestry, in a sense. Although I'm pretty sure since more and more people are getting tested, it could be a bit easier, better nowadays, but it may still not be the best, in a sense. Yeah. But that's just genetic testing. It's pretty much gimmicky in some certain instances, so it doesn't really matter. But for medical research, it could be a problem because it has a lot of genetic variants in different populations, and sometimes certain medicines or drugs do not work in one part of the population compared to the other parts of the population. And this could be even within the majority population as well. There could be certain people who have a certain slightly, just like one difference thing in their genome, like one different SNP, which that if I were to explain that, it would become too biological already, but you get the idea. It's like slightly different genome, slightly different how do I say, gene, in the sense. Yeah. Anyway, so certain drugs may not work for that particular group, or may even be deadly for them. So if you do not get information on this group and give it to the AI, or even if you do get information, that will be somewhat washed out by all of the other people, like the majority data. And that leads to a certain misrepresentation of the minority, in a sense. So that's what I mean by discrimination because of the neural network. Because the neural network doesn't know that, oh, there's a minority and there's a majority. It just takes everything as one thing and then just decides according to what it can find in literally all of the data. Yeah. So it shows that it's not a real human being. That's why you need human beings who actually can tell the difference between, that there's a lot of variance in actual people, and there could be certain groups of people who might be discriminated by the results of the neural network. Okay, so now we move on to the last issue, which is crimes. Basically, people doing crimes using AI. So the example I'm going to use here is deepfakes. I'm just going to talk about that specifically, but I'm pretty sure there's other things people might do with AI. I haven't really seen videos on that yet, but the most interesting one is deepfakes. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about deepfakes. Deepfakes especially. Yeah. So the good stuff about deepfakes. Yeah, there's actually good stuff about them. So before I go there, if you do not know what I mean by deepfake, is basically that faking a video of someone. You can basically use an AI, and then if you give it some training data of someone's picture or video, actually the number of pictures you require nowadays is very much decreasing. As there's one video that tells that you may, like the latest software may only need one picture and it can do an entire video with that, and that's pretty scary. But okay, anyways, So you get someone's picture or video, and then someone else might be talking or doing facial movements and just giving a speech, and then you paste the picture, like the face in the picture, onto that video instead. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea behind a deep fake. Um, Basically, they are, in terms of the good stuff, they are pretty useful for movies. Like, let's say you want to cast someone, but that person is no longer here, or maybe they're very hard to access, and as long as you get their permission, maybe they can do it much easier compared to using a hologram or something. And they're also pretty useful for people who like to make memes, like, harmless memes, I suppose. It's fun, and it gives quite a bit of entertainment using celebrities especially. So yeah, that's the good stuff. But the bad stuff is that they can be used to do actual serious damage, especially in politics and in um you know okay, like for politics, it would be they try to undermine a certain party, or they try to spread a certain message, like they portray the politician speaking in a certain way. And the other way that they can be quite dangerous is to put unsuspecting women's faces on pornography videos. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wrote. Yeah, but that's pretty much what happens sometimes. So you may not even want to be part of it, but just because of a picture on Facebook, somehow that became an illegal video in a way. Yeah, and even though it's not like a direct violation of their privacy, it is still pretty much a big violation of their privacy. So yeah, it's pretty much not a good thing. It's a bad thing indeed. So what do we get from this? Well, we have to be careful about deepfakes, obviously, and we need to know how to find out which videos are legitimate videos and which videos are actually deepfakes. And the reason why I say this is, even though it may seem like, oh, it might be quite easy to find out which the fake video, but the truth is the software is getting so good nowadays that they can even fake the audio, and they can make it sound like you're the one saying it when you're not even in the actual video. Like only your face is there, but you didn't do anything to make that video. So it is scary, I guess. But the good thing is there are some good people out there who are making software that can help you find out that the video is actually faked. So hopefully that software will serve us well. Yeah, you can watch the videos in the links below for more details. Okay, so to conclude, well, AI can be used for many, many things, and I haven't even started on stuff like computational linguistics, where you can use AI to evaluate the language structures and, figure out, like the noun verbs, stuff like that, the roots of the words, or the way that the sentence is structured, and then you can use it to make a chatbot, for example, like a bot that helps to respond to random queries. That's actually AI. Or you can even talk about computational biology, which is more familiar with me, I suppose. I mean, actually, yeah, they're both somewhat familiar to me because I like linguistics, but I don't actually study it. But I do study bioengineering, so I should know something about computational biology. Basically, it's like one example would be if you're trying to examine the DNA strand, like the strand of DNA, and you want to find a certain pattern or something, then you can use your programming to find it. I'm not sure whether it's considered AI, but or if you don't know what to search for, you can probably use an AI to do it. So yeah, that's basically what it can be used for, and it could be used for many other things, and I probably don't even know what those things are. But yeah, I hope this video inspires you to maybe learn some basics of AI, or at least learn more about what it's used for. Actually, I just realized it can be used for, those recommended video kind of thing, the YouTube recommended videos or your recommended search terms or stuff like that. It could be used for that as well. So it's actually something to do with your privacy. in a sense, but usually they're not very good at it. So yeah, they don't get a lot of training data at the beginning, so they're not very good at recommending it in the beginning. But after a while, they become slightly better at it. Yeah, that's the reason why your recommended videos may not be up to par. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, and the issues that can arise due to AI. I hope you get to actually explore that on your own as well. So I do watch a lot of videos, and I watch videos of many different things. And I sometimes forget what the link is because I don't want to keep saving a lot of videos in my watch later list and keeping it there forever. Yeah, so even if I watch videos and even if I read certain articles, that article I read it way too much earlier than the time that I actually decided to do the series, so I didn't bother saving the link to that because I don't need it. I don't need to do GP, so yeah, I'm sorry. But if I do find it, I'll paste the link. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so a good place to find information, as you might have seen from all the links, is either YouTube or just search. If you need a video on how to search well, I can do that because I am a bit of an. I think I'm pretty good at it. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty good at searching for stuff. Although I couldn't find that article because for some reason it just didn't appear. Oh well. Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. It actually turned out to be 30 minutes long. Oh no. I guess I can't really make it short after all. But if this was actually the length that you would prefer, then okay, that'd be good. If you prefer a shorter video length, then type it in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please press the like button and subscribe. And with that, I would like to say thank you and bye!